Welcome to Outworld Station. My name is Nilaus, and this is a let's try of a new game coming out. It was just released in early access, as you see here, on 22nd of April. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it. It is a space station factory game of sorts. So what does it say on Steam? It says, take the helm as the new station commander and exploit an alien star system in this stunning space station factory automation game. That's what I said. Amass resources and construct starships using increasingly advanced manufacturing and expand your station into hostile universe. So let's take a look at it, and with all these let's try, I would like your feedback on whether there's something you want to see more of here on the channel. If so, leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe, you know the drill. So let's dive in and take a look at this game. Here we are entering the asteroid belt. This is one of the 4 maps that we can play, and here we are. We start with a little space station that doesn't do much. A hub, not a mall. That's very nice. And we have our little drone here. This is basically our player character that follows the cursor as we move around. And welcome to Tau System. That's it. And I missed something. So anyway, we are in some random location, and we want to do exploitation and expansion. And we need to get some things. And this is the first mission here to upgrade our station, which is basically how you unlock new things, is to unlock titanium, carbon, and gold. So let's do that. We have already some gold, and basically the way it works is that we have the station storage here, the hub, and we have some things in here, and then we can sort of move them over to our domain inventory. Then it also just decreases. So it's counting what you have in the hub as completed towards the next level. What we want to do is we want, of course, to make something. We have a star map where we can see, and I'll just turn it this way so that north is up, because that makes sense. Here we can see sort of some characteristics of this location, and what we basically can do, or what we basically need to do, is we need to start making some struts out here. We'll make it, yeah, I'll make it like this. That's a little bit much. Then what we want to do is we want to go into the build menu, and then we can see with the different things we can do. We can do storage units, we can do resources, we can do production, and we can do power, and there's not much to do right now. First thing we're going to do is to build an atomizer. This is basically we can go out and grab some asteroids, hold shift to click multiple. You can see the bar around us is the sort of the carrying capacity of our little drones, and then we just throw them into the atomizer. Well, if they wanted to, we could throw them into the atomizer. There we go. In you go. And then the atomizer converts them in here. Then they're output. So we need to get them somewhere. So we go back to our build menu. And what we want to do is we want to make some smelters. Here's a smelter. And we set the recipe to titanium, because that's the primary resource we have. And then now what? Now nothing. We don't have belts, we don't have things, but it's using these connectors. So now we go into, press F to go in the link mode, and then we just click from here to there. And then I also want to do, we go to build, then on the general there is a storage unit. We'll put the storage unit over on that side. There we go. So that's one thing. Right, and then we go to link mode and go from the smelter into that one. So what happens now is you can see things are being moved in here, but only the stuff that we need. Titanium is being moved from here into here, being processed 1 to 1, 30 per minute, and it goes into the storage. Excellent. So if you want some, we can put it into the storage. Now, we probably want some other things as well. And let's go resources, let's go here, smelter, and I'm just gonna go shift 4, I think, because then we have it on our hotbar. We're gonna make a few more of these because we have a couple of resources. We have 4 resources now, so let's get 4 of those different ones. And we also need some storage units. That's here. We'll put those on the other side. And then what we want to do is we want to make carbon into composites, and no, that was raw carbon ore into carbon. We want to make silica into glass fiber, and we want to make gold into gold. And then we'll go to the link. So from here, holding shift, click into multiple, and then from here and in, from here and in, from here and in. And you can press control to see all of the lines, and then hovering over them, you can kind of get a sense of where they are. So now we put everything we mine, we have a way to process it, and we can go. We are going to both need more carbon and we want more carbon. So we can also just do like this. And now we're kind of running out, I guess. Link from here also into that, also into that, and then the other way into this and into this. Okay, and control, holding control, we can see that it is coming from, there's a little orange dot, means that it actually is picking up from those locations. Good, so now we have a lot of this. This is not working because it's not set to titanium yet. And there, now it's set to titanium and it'll actually flow through. So that's really neat. We're gonna need to pick up some more resources to keep our happy little atomizer fed. That's of course like a very temporary way of working, but hey, it's a start. And we throw things in here. Now this is not gonna be all we have, because you can see here this is the power. We are using 38 and we have producing 50, so we're gonna need to make some more power. So let's make some more of these struts out here. We'll make it on this side, and that will be for power, and that's gonna be solar power there, there, and we can't afford more. Great. And the funny or weird thing is that you have to click these and then you sort of have to drag them in here. It was in the very first version of the game, you had to do that sort of like every 10 minutes, which was awful, but they luckily first they passed it so that you only have to do it once and then it's fine. Good. Right, so that's pretty neat. Now we have like the very first thing, we're producing a little bit of this. We could take the carbon, the gold and the titanium and put it back into the hub, because then we would be able to have it. Or I could also just pick it up, because I don't really want the hub to be storing a lot of resources. Carbon is there and gold is not quite there. Okay, so we're gonna need to go out and find some more resources. Just go out here, pick up stuff and then go back. Now we have everything we need. We can go into the hub and we can put things in here, and that should be able to complete the first mission. Ta-da! First mission completed. So that means we unlock new things. We've a material printer, a matter printer, and some hull plating, some basic shapes, some fiber optics, and some composites. Station Commander, you will find a new range of modules, items, and parts are available. Matter printer can convert raw materials into more complex use connectors to form another line. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go make a new line out here, and we'll make it. Ooh, can't afford. That's probably bad, this part here. Yeah, because what we really need is, now we need hull plating, basic frames, composites, and fiber optics. So we basically need to make the 4 new things that we want. But I might have overbuilt some things. Yeah, we don't have hull plating. Okay, so we're going to need to sell some things here. Here. Here, because we can't make hull plating, and we kind of need to make hull plating in here. Damn, that's fun. So I actually overbuilt. Okay, so I need to delete in order to make them hull plating. Alright, well. There we go, I have 15, that's what we need. So I'm going to make production a matter printer. That'll probably make hull plating, because that's kind of what we need. So this one, very important, making hull plating. Great, and that takes titanium, 3 titanium into 2. So basically this takes 30, and that means one of these would be dedicated to that. So we could make like direct insertion, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just take them from the storage where we have plenty. I can even take all of this out and just get it sort of force fed it a little bit here, just make it go, because we can't really do any hull plating before we can't expand anymore before we get more hull plating. So let's get this going. We got a little bit more of the hull plating, and what we can then do is we can continue to expand out here and then make a little bit more of everything. What we want to do is make another one of these, and this one will be making then basic frames. That's nice. And this also needs to get from the titanium. So at this point we are actually getting from the titanium and also over there. So it's kind of something. Then actually, I think I want to put them on this side, don't I? Yeah, maybe. No, we'll build them like this. And then we'll do the storage. The storage will then be another thing we really need, and that is here, storage unit. I'm going to put some storage units for these things. And might as well put the other ones. And also here, and can't afford. We need more of this, maybe more of this. And then we can afford it. Yes. So that's the 4 things we absolutely need. They are glass fiber, and this one is composite, and then we do all the linking. This one was glass fiber, so we need to find the glass fiber one. Hold Alt to see what's in it. This one, glass fiber. So from this to this, And this one is carbon into composites. So carbon is that one. Carbon into composites. And the distance doesn't really matter. Of course, it takes a lot longer to get there. But ultimately, since it's a flow, it's going to be fine. And we built everything to be linking into that one. And now, for example, we could say, okay, we know that this is consuming 80. Whoa, that's a lot. So we definitely do not have enough titanium processing. So most important thing is probably getting more titanium. So that means more hull plating. And that is now, oh yeah, they go over here. There we go. Let's get a few of those. And then we can do a few more smelters there. And let's do another smelter there. And they will, oh, hold on. There's a much better way to do this. Because this is already connected. You can see it's already connected. So there's this button here, duplicate. And we just duplicate it here. And duplicate another one. And that means they are already connected. And they will start receiving from here. This one has an output rating of 240, so we can feed 8 of these in a row. That's nice. And might be necessary. Right, so this is actually should get us all we want-ish, but I think I want another one of this as well. Get aboard, the usual. So we get this part. So as you can see, because we're expanding so much, we are building too fast. Oh, frames. Right, it was frames. There we go. And nope, I have to go from here to copy. There. That saves them on a lot of the clicking for the linking part, which is very nice. This one is then connected. We'll hold it. Yes, it is connected. Right. So while we're doing this, we can actually now it's just chugging along. We should be getting all these things sort of eventually. What we can do is then go out and explore. There's a scanning mode like this, where you can see the things. The little white dots, they are asteroids, and the red dot is an enemy. So when we get close to an enemy, we can press E to go into a combat mode, and then we do pew, 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 pew. And I know the lasers make laser sounds in space, but I have to make it as well. That's just how it is. That was not super difficult. But there's more out here as we explore. So we'll just explore, and then we'll see what cool things there are out here. So now we can see there are other colors here. There's a yellow color. So let's have a look at what the yellow color might be if we go down here and see if we can find some enemies. Oh, there's an enemy. This is a slinger. And we go to combat mode and shooty while hovering around it. There we go. And there's a thing. That's a little base. So we are going to treat them like we treat all enemy aliens. Apparently they are the bad guys. Obviously they are. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to shoot them. And shoot everything. And then we just steal their fat loot. They got a little bit of frames, a little bit of other things, so a little bit of higher level materials that we got for free just by killing some evil aliens. Yeah, that's my stance on it. And the further you go away, the more dangerous things become. Obviously, this is a starter area, tutorial area, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. See, that's definitely something else. We can just liberate this wrecked starship ship and see what that gets us. There's a little canister. Got us some diamonds from that, and here's some other things, and there's some other things, and then this one. We need some composites, which we have, and then some circuit boards, which we don't have. If you get that, we can actually unlock the ship and see if there's something cool in there. We look at the map. That's something, and over here there's also a derelict ship, which needs some some fiber optics, which we do have. So let's actually grab some stuff and go back and see if we can unlock that ship. Here's the ship, and it is well protected. Luckily, they are very bad at shooting. Woo. Also very kind of them to make sounds right before they shoot. That's very kind of them. Oh, and we're out of power. So we just have to wait for the energy to recharge. You can get upgrades to ships and such, both armor and weapons upgrades and capacity and all that stuff, which might be what we can do here. So this one, we should have something, and we can unlock. And we got some random resources, and we also get more random resources around here. Then let's see, that's a canister. Are there any more canisters out here? No. The rest is just debris that we can pick up and ferry back to our location. Alright, we got everything we want or we need for the next mission. So this storage though, we take that out. And instead I'm gonna put in all of the stuff that was requested. That one and that one. There we go. And we complete the next mission. Perfect. I'm gonna pick this up as well, so it doesn't lie around there. Now we get fabricators, energy storage, artifact analyzer. Great. And we can now make diamonds, nanoplating, reinforced plates, and molecular bonding. Excellent. And we got more stuff unlocked. And the artifact analyzer is available, so if we find artifacts, we can find those from derelict ships, then we can put them in and get some upgrades. And the fabricators are sort of the next step up from the smelter, the constructor, what's this called? The matter printer, and then the fabricator. There we go. And energy storage will just give us some more power. What is the power like in the space? Yeah, okay, we have 110 and we're using 81 of them. New objectives. So now we need nanoplating, reinforced frames, and artificial diamonds. Those are things we want. And then we just need to figure out how to do that. No tutorial videos. Nah, we don't need tutorial videos. I am the tutorial. Great, so what is it we want to do? Well, let's start by, we can use the codex. This is pretty cool, where you can actually see the tutorials here. I would recommend playing with tutorials. I just skip those because I want to explain. We have different locations, station levels, where we can see what we unlock at each level, which is really nice. So this is stuff we've unlocked, and we can almost click on it. That would be recipes. So the stuff we got molecular bonding. That's done in a smelter from silica. What else do we get? We got the nano. That's in a fabricator, and that's in a fabricator. And you can see they need this molecular bonding thing, which is coming from here, from the silica. So we're going to need more silica and the diamonds. Those are the 3 new items, right? We can also say station level. Those, yeah, molecular bonding, diamonds, and diamond is in a smelter. Nope, that's a matter printer, but this is in a smelter. So we need one more smelter setup here. That's going to be like this, and that goes into... How silly it is that I don't have the storage unit here. There. And this smelter will be making this molecular bonding, and that means we need to get you in here, you in here, and that should give us some silica if we have silica, but we don't have a lot of silica out here, so that's a little bit problematic. Now, but it is getting a little bit of silica in here. Great, so the next thing we wanted to do was one more thing over here on the fabricator, so we can do this part, and we probably also need some more. Can't afford, we're missing some plating, that's fine, we can get those here. That one, and again the storage. It bothers me that I did not put the storage as a general one. Let's do that as number 52. Oh, meteor storm incoming, lovely. We'll need to do that just in a second, so hold on with that. That's a diamond, and the diamond is coming from the carbon, so we need to find the carbon. That's this one, right? Yeah. So carbon goes into matter printer, and matter printer goes into storage unit. That should work. Great. And now we see over here there is a inbound. Yeah, so we want to avoid this. And here's the... Where are we? We're there. Some asteroids. They will hit our base, and that's not cool. So we want to go out here and try to shoot them down before they get in. There we go, we survived. And lo and behold, we also have a little bit of a new enemy out here. Oops, we used all of our shooty power. Good. And then we need to shoot this part to see if there's anything else that's interesting. Oh, look at that. We've actually found a ship. Oh, come on, energy speed. Okay, never mind. We can just get whatever there's left here in nice wrapped up in boxes. And... there we go. A little bit of stuff. Ooh, we got a small engine. And is that... there. And we can then pick up a ship and ferry that home. It's... oops. Let's not run into the other one. Where is my hub? It's down here. Ferry it back home. And we are going to park it. The ship. This will come in handy later on. Ship captured. And we just let go of it. So this Aon Hopper is something we're going to need a little bit later. Right, so now we need to continue production. Where is the production going to be? Well, they could be anywhere, basically. We could make it out here. Yeah, let's make it out here on the third row, on the third side here. So let's make that one. And what we need to make is, now we need another thing that's a fabricator. That's going to be like 6, I guess, here. And we're going to need one of those, and we're going to need another one of these. And they can only do 2 things right now, so they can do the nanoplating, and they can do the reinforced plates. And I also want those to be in boxes here. Right, so this one gets a little bit more complicated because I know I need to find the hull plating. That's this one and that one. So it's from here to here, from here to here, and then go into the storage. Next one is this frames there, and also that one, and then go in. So that gets us all the things we want. And let's see, the diamonds are up here. Yes, we are getting a little bit of diamonds. I did also put some... Oh, modules are low on power. Well, that's not exactly a surprise because we kind of been just wasting power here. There, and can't afford, why not? Gold? Well, we have plenty of gold, right? Oh, yes. We take that stack. And they need alignment. Yeah. We need alignment for that. Good. And then I click here. And then and go up and align them. Perfect. What's the power now? Power is 195, was out of the... Good. We could also do some storage, power storage unit, just in case bad stuff happens. What is that? More basic frames? That's fine. We can do basic frames. And that's basic. Here, energy storage, we'll put that... that's not a great place. That one is actually a super annoying place to do it. Actually, could I do this? Yeah. I don't want it to build it this close. Actually, should have built it a little bit more space out here. Anyway, I'm gonna take you out and you out. I don't really need those right now. I do, but I can't afford them, or I can't really place them anywhere. So what I want to do is actually the analyzer, which was set an artifact analyzer. What is that? Frames and composites. Okay, so let's go. The composites is here, and the frames are here. Or platings are here. Was platings right? Yes. And then let's do the analyzer and figure out what that does. We'll build that. We can build it. Good. This one is getting us updates either to the drone, so we can get more hit points, more carry weight, more inventory slots, more speed and recharge, laser, but not speed, unfortunately. Speed would be nice though. And then some upgrades to the station, solar power. So basically all of these upgrades, they are like 20 to 30% better something. Right, so as you can see, this is working slowly, and the reason why it's working slowly is because we don't have any more silica. So now we actually desperately want to go out and find more silica asteroids so we can feed it in here so we can keep this going. Now we are facing turrets here. This is a little bit more difficult, but you can at least have them shoot at there and then recharge a little bit. Have it shoot. There we go. And we can then get some resources here. It's nice. And this one needs reinforced plate and carbon nanotube. We don't have carbon nanotube, so there's no reason to put the other one in here either. So that's unfortunate. Up here we have more enemies. We're gonna go up here. Should be able to take it out in one cycle. Yes. Oh, there's also someone behind us. Oh, max power. Damn. More recharge speed would be nice. And we also need to shoot their base, because of course we do. And we get a little bit of loot from it. There. This. Here. B to pick up everything. There. So that gets us something. And these asteroids are really nice. There's an ice asteroid, which we can't really use for anything right now because we don't have ice asteroid. Ice processing. There we go. Look at all the... Oh man, that's a lot of nice gold we are bringing back. Gold is precious, and silica is actually most precious. There's no such thing as a silica asteroid, but it's just a little bit part of everything. But you can see we're running out of silica here. Yeah. Not titanium, even though we build more titanium. So out and about, explore, and get more stuff. And we're ready to unlock the next level. We have exactly 50 here. We have 25 here, and the reinforced diamonds, they are up here. And we also have enough of that. Good. So let's get that into the stockpile or into the hub. There we go. And that's completed. And then we take these two out. Now we got another one. So we got an optional quest for looking at seekers. We're not going to do that. Let's add oh, we got a miner and an Aon Hopper. Ooh, interesting. So now we can do some. See, now we can make this, and we can make small engines. We can make circuit boards, and we can make computers. Right. New technologies have been unlocked. Great. Automate raw material extraction with miners. That's super amazing. So and that means we actually have to do some things. So small shipyard has been done. Ooh, this is interesting. So now it's really just starting to become more. Yeah, 5 Aon Hoppers and 25 computers. I'll get back to work. Yes. Right. So now it gets a little bit more complicated in a good way. What we can now do is we can actually make a miner, but that means we need a mining station somewhere out in the world, and we can do that. But we need a computer to do that. So, right. So the first thing we need to figure out is how to do a computer. I think we do that in a factory. We can also do a shipyard, which needs frames, plates. The shipyard will make Aon Hoppers. That's these little ships. They're basically like science packs. They don't do anything. That was a little bit disappointing. They just basically do this to complete a mission. So, you know, we'll do it eventually. But we do need to make some production, and I think that's going to be a fabricator we need. So we need more stuff here. And we'll take that stack. And we can take that stack. And we can take that stack. Ooh, that's not a lot of that. And let's see. So that means we need to make a new fabricator. Let's make that here. Let's see what you can make. Oh, see, we can make circuit boards. That's gold and glass fiber. Perfect. Then we can do another one. That one. And that is here. That makes computers. Yep. And the last one we want to make is here. That means engines. That is here. Now, one of the problems I see with this game is that I don't want to make a lot of engines. I just need a few, because the engines are used only for making 5 Aon Hoppers. That's it. We just need 5. And I can't see how I can make 5. There's this advanced one where we can set priorities, sort of when things go out. But the output here will stack up to a full stack size, which is like 250 of these. So I don't want to make 250. So I kind of have to... Oh, is this maybe it? Set the maximum amount of resources this factory will take. No. I wanted to set a maximum that it will have as output. I don't seem to be able to do that, which is sad, I guess. So that means this one, I really want to be careful about putting stuff in here, because we actually only made to make 4 Aon Hoppers, and we don't need to consume all of this. Computers, yes, we want that, and circuits, we also want that. But we don't want it to be in large quantities. So we don't actually want or I don't want storage for this. I just wanted to sort of build here. Maybe computers want some storage for, since that might be useful for something else later down the line. There we go. So we can build the computers across. So now we need to do the linking part. That means gold is here, and this is the carbon glass fiber thingy. So from here to that one, from here to that one. Does that seem like the right thing? Yes. So the next one is more fiber optics plus the circuits. So fiber optics was this one. This is going to be a problem with the fiber optics, by the way. And that one. And then you go in here. This small engines, I am not going to build that yet. We can actually do that over there. So we're just ready to go out. I think I'm actually going to be putting in, if I put in half of this, that's 16. That's enough for 4. And then we put in whatever, we can put in all of this 8 times 4, this does 2. So we just put in this stack. That should get this going to make 5. Oh, that's low on power. Yep. Okay, let's make some more power. Here we have something interesting. We have now found a crash ship. We managed to unlock it. And what do we have? We have a little gizmo, an artifact in here. So let's drag the artifact home and put it into our artifact analyzer. Because that's the whole point of having an artifact analyzer, is to have it analyze artifacts. There we go. Nope. Grab it and put it in. There we go. So now this is scanning. Once the scanning is complete in 5 minutes, where we have to not break the power. Let's also make a little bit of storage here, or power storage if we can. There. That might help a little bit. And we're also seeing that this is barely keeping up. And you just take half of that stack. This cannot keep up really, but that is fine. Let's also see, you need some more gold. I'll take that stack. Good. So what we need to do now is we need to go out here. This thing is a water ice node, so that means we can actually make a mining post. So we look for the pink indicators on the map, and water ice is the most useless one. We want to have everything But let's go out and explore and just get some more resources. Every little white dot is an asteroid we can pick up. So go out, explore, and kill these things here and see if we can get it. Oh, see, this one unlocks with a circuit board, so we might as well take a circuit board with us out here. So we've actually found a useful location. Ow. This useful location is, just like that, a silica node. So let's try to make a new little base here. There we go. Module to lower power, that's of course this module. And then we need to build a little tiny base here. And we'll need some solar panels here. We'll need some, if we look at this one, this is going to produce silica. So what do we want the silica to do? Well, we want the silica to do two different things. Silica should go into glass fiber and glass fiber, but it should also go into here. And they each take 30 each, right? So, there. And then I'm going to put some storage out on those sides. And then maybe a power storage if we can afford it. Like that. Sure. These need to be realigned. And then just realign it to, oops. That's a weird feature. There, 100, perfect. And then I take from here. In, shift, 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 shift. There we go. And from this one, oh no, did I? No, it looks fine. From here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Good. So this one should be getting all of the molecular bonding. This one should be getting all of the glass fiber. We don't have a way to transport it back again. We don't have a way to protect it. All those things will be something we can get later on. But this is a good step forward. We now have a miner, and it's silica, which is something we really need for the computer build. So we're going to continue to explore a little bit over here, see if we can find maybe a titanium one, would be really lovely. Right, so I think it's time for us to make a shipyard, so we can start making those hoppers that we wanted. Production, the resources, shipyard. So, can't afford. Alright, we need some stuff here. That one, and that one, and let's go over and make some shipyard. That's here. Still not, oh, composites. Composites are there, so we'll just take a stack of that. Fine. Try again. And shipyard. Don't know if it's a good idea to put it at the end. It probably isn't a good idea to put it at the end, because then I kind of block myself off from doing anything else. So we'll do it this way instead, and shipyard here on the side, because it actually it can't be made there. It actually takes more space than it looks. Right. So now what we can do is we can set up a ship, and then we can say we can do 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and oh, small engines. It needs 2 small engines for one ship. And we need hull plating and computers to go in here. And then we need the small engines. So we do actually need a little bit more small engines here. Let's get some of that and some of that. So you can make small engines. I'm going to make small engines go in here. Computers go in there. And what was the last thing we needed? That was hull plating. Okay, so hull plating comes from up here. And that means we go from that one and in here. So that means now we have all the things we want coming in here for those 4, plus the one we already have. And then we also should see if we have enough computers. There we go. And let's set the computers in here. Medium amount, 25. Get those in there. Great. And then I can put the rest back out here, except for one, because I need one in my inventory for another mining location. Or, yeah. So we're making a hopper, and let's see, this one is progressing, and then it says ship. Then we have to sort of, unfortunately have to sort of drop it off here and wait for the next one. So we're just going to sit here and wait for these to be completed. That's the final 5th ship. Now we have all of those available, and we can complete the mission and then get another station update. Alright, so what do we get here? Freighter dock and defense turrets. So this is really interesting, the freighter dock. That's the one I want to show, because that gets us a little bit more automation and sort of gives us a sense of how we can make do without a lot of the manual action. And then an Aon thing and a superconductor. And yeah, okay, so you now got a new station, we want more stuff, we need freighter docks to make freighters, and we need defense turrets to make defenses, and this one, can that can make an Aon courier. That's again like a science pack ish. What I need to do is a freighter dock in order to make freight. So what I really want to do is I really want to make a and also supercomputers. Yeah, superconductors there. So what I really want to do and just show in this episode is I want to set up the miner to go back automatically with stuff back to our hub. And if we can do that, then we can kind of get a sense of how this game looks like when we're getting more into automation part. Because right now there's a lot of just manual action of getting stuff, getting asteroids and feeding in here, and it's always running out. So what we want to do is we want to make a freighter dock, and that's over on transport, and that could be like 7, I guess. Particle storm incoming. Particle storm, we can't do anything about it as far as I can tell. We can just sort of accept that they're there. So we need platings and we need some computers. Okay, computers are here. See, this is the problem, right? The computers are not working because they are simply not getting enough fiber optics. And we're not getting enough fiber optics because we don't get enough silica. So that actually means that we have to go down here to our location and pick up some fiber optics because we're actually making fiber optics down here. There, this little base. Particle storm incoming. Yeah, that sucks. Take all. This one. Take all. And go back. So we have 3 checkpoints by now. So let's figure out what we want. I think that recharging or maybe laser power would be nice. What else is there? This is even more. So, okay. So what else is there? Carry weight. I mean, I'm still carrying a lot of junk with me. So that's kind of would be useful. I'll do this one. And then this next one costs 2 points, right? Yeah, 2 points. So do we want the last one more recharge and store energy? Sure, let's do that. None of the other ones seem particularly interesting. I am still going to, because I want some space out here for some docking base. And in order for that, you can see everything's running out faster than I can use it because the factory is starting to grow a little bit. And, well, we don't want to do all this. So I need to still go out here. There's a blob out there that I don't know what is, but we'll see. Oh, this is a place where you don't want to fly in there. Okay, okay, so now we know, don't fly into the purple shit. Okay, good. Now we know. Now you don't have to fly into that. So I found a new carbon ore node, and I think that I want to put this as our... as the one we want to build, and that's on resources, mining here. We're going to be going up. Yeah, I know it's not getting enough power there, and... another one here. Then we're gonna get the carbon is just gonna go into one thing, that's carbon ore, so that can easily be done like this. And then we can get a storage like this. And then we go link there. And all of these smelters in here. And each of these will now be making carbon. And then kind of realized that I should have just used the copy paste function. There, carbon and carbon. Is it working? Modules low on power? Yes, because these are not aligned. And we need to figure out how to align them, and that is the silliness that this is. Really, how we have to align them, that makes no sense. Anyway, this one's working. It's putting out 120, and that goes into 3 times 30. And that should get us some carbon here. Now, we want to make a dock at this point. So we make a transport dock here, freighter dock. So the freighter dock is, well, this one's going to be called Carbon Outpost. Yes, there. Then we want to make a freighter. Click. That builds a freighter here. And then I also want to get you into that one. So now we take all the carbon. Will now flow from the storage into this location. And then we have if we click on this, we click on carbon output. If we click on this, we actually click on the carbon hauler, which is exactly what we're going to call it. There. And this one will now have a pickup location and a drop-off location, and then some conditions to wait. We only have one location, so there's not much to do in terms of pickup and drop-off. So we're going to go back to the main location and see if we can build something there. And where is the main? Oh, it's down here. Okay, let's grab some stuff on the way back. Like every time you're out in the world, just grab whatever you can on the way back. And is that too big? No, it's good. And then that's the silica mine. So let's go back to the hub. And eventually we will basically have everything cleaned out. This this region of space is cleaned out of asteroids, and that goes in here. Throw it in. Then we want to make another freighter dock here. That can be done here. Oh yeah, by the way, probably should say, because it's something I kind of forgot. Let's see if I can remember this here. You can actually also do a vertical connector, and that means it goes up to a second floor. It doesn't really. It actually helps us if we could have built all of this on top of each other, and I think that would have been a good idea. But right now, I don't really think that's worthwhile for us. So we're going to be just skipping that. But just know that it is possible. This one will be called Hub, and then it's going to be unloading carbon. There. Good. And then from here, we are going to be saying from there, and then I'm going to put it into the carbon location. I think, which one's carbon location? Who knows which one's carbon, because nothing has carbon anymore. Yeah, okay, that one's going to be carbon. So it goes from here, from there, into that one. Great. And let's go out and deal with the asteroids before we hook up the line here. Oh, wow, that's problematic here. There we go. And we go to our new carbon mine out here. Oh, wow, that's a seeker. That's a more dangerous one. Because these keep shooting at us, or keep floating at us for a while. Okay. Just go away now. Ah, run away. Alright, that should be fine, right? Yeah. Okay, so now this ship can now go pick up from the carbon outpost and drop off at the carbon hub. Pretty simple. And it'll be waiting for resources 20 seconds until it doesn't get any resources in during a 20-second cycle, or it'll wait 60 seconds until it departs. And we have some stored here, and there we go. So now it's waiting 60 seconds, and then it goes back. That is the automatic hauler coming back to our base, hopefully, in a little while. And basically at this point, what we need to do is we need to clear out the map, get nodes like this, and for each of the other ones, we really need titanium, because titanium is what we need the most of. So we need a titanium and a gold ore as well, and then we can continue checking. So this one is flying back. It's really slow, and it... Oh, okay, when I click it, it stops. That's actually nice. In the meantime, this one is just producing at about 120 per minute. And yeah, so now we have an automatic hauler all the way back here, and you can kind of see that if you build this, then we finally don't have to do this anymore. Just running around picking up asteroids as we go, because we'll have all the carbon we need. We also have the silica we need, at least sort of for the time being, and therefore we don't need the atomizer as much anymore. Cool. All right. So as this come back, that is going to be where we wrap up. My thoughts on this is, I think the early game at least is not much factory building. It's station building. It's nice. I love the fact that you don't have to sort of make belts or anything like that. The things just kind of flow between them. Very nice. You can also just do more optimized, where you build sort of a ratioed build. That's not where I feel that this game is at this stage, and therefore it sort of doesn't really make sense. Here we go. We have our freighter coming in. Hopefully it works. But I think that it's a nice little cute game, and there's definitely potential for expansion. So let me know in the comment section below if you want more of this, either on a Twitch stream or on 4 YouTube episodes. So then I'll gauge the interest and see. So this was a new game, indie game came out a couple of days ago. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.